everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, January 14, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tomorrow night at a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about what the outcome is going to be on this planet once the major thrust from the lower frequencies has expended itself. Ecstasy is our very nature. Not to be ecstatic is simply unnecessary. To be ecstatic is natural, spontaneous. Needs no effort to be ecstatic. It needs great effort to be miserable. That's why we look so tired, because misery is really hard work. To maintain it is really difficult because you are doing something against nature also. Now, who would think that? But when you watch, as you observe or watch, you're not judging, you're just taking a look at everything, and you see it. It's there. How many people do you come across during the course of even a week, a month, year, that are ecstatic? Mostly you come across people that are tired and overworked and irritable. So how often do any of us venture out of our bubble, our cozy nest of habitual life, into that place where we don't know what could happen next? You may have noticed that your ego is a master at creating habits. It craves to create the perfect comfort zone safely. This comfort zone is different for everyone. For an adrenaline seeker, it may be the need to parachute out of a plane at 10,000 feet every weekend, while for the retired executive, it may be sitting by the pool in paradise every day, sipping a cold pina colada. Whoever you are, you have some form of comfort zone established that is there for you to grow out of and expand through. Truth is that the ego has no real power of control and cannot create 100% safely or safety in our lives. Life is inherently insecure. Only death is a sure thing. The mind can only fixate on the false notion of safety and hope that this will come true. True safety only comes from being in touch with your eternal self, that infinite part of you that will never die. What could be safer than that? Everything in this world changes. The flux of matter is what makes life so exciting, spontaneous, and dynamic here. Your body is not the same body that you atomically had 1 year ago. And 10,000 years from now, you may not recognize or understand half of what you see. As long as the ego is in charge and thinks it's running the show, it will be holding you tightly so that the lie is safely or safety by sticking like super glue to its comfort zone. Now, there's nothing wrong with being comfortable. In fact, it can become a precursor to a deep spiritual, mystical life experience. Yet the ego will often coax us to stay in an old rut or pattern just to keep its distance from the fear of the unknown. It believes that it's better to stay with what it has known for years, even if it feels like you are shriveling up in a lukewarm bath where there is no heat, excitement, or pizzazz. This could be a relationship, a job, a salary, overweight body, lack of vacation, or just a convenient, repetitive daily routine. The ego would rather be comfortable in a velvet rut for 70 plus years than take a risk to step into true aliveness. Now when you look at you hear this, but then when you see and you look and you watch and you observe, it's pretty apparent. It really is. Most of us, through the ego mind, we build a safe harbor for ourselves, comfort zone, area where we feel snuggled in and safe. And we know certain things, we've established certain things, and so we stay within that. And just like I said, you could have someone who's in a comfort zone, but theirs is adrenaline seeking, where they'll jump out of an airplane 10,000 feet every weekend, parachute out, or bungee jumping, or ice climbing, or mountain climbing, or skiing, whatever it may be. That's their comfort zone. Okay, so a lot of people think the comfort zone is, it's sedentary. You don't do anything. You just kind of hang out. And people come along and say, "Hey, come on, why don't you go?" No, I'm good. I've got some things I got to take care of. But hey, enjoy yourselves. Different ways we respond to something pulling us out, doing what it can, the universe doing what it can to pull us out of that comfort zone. But the majority of us, unless something really earth-shaking, that has a tendency to pull us out of our comfort zone. Now, on a course of existence, you would master something, whatever it may be. Once you mastered it, you would then move on to something new so that you could begin to master the something new. Instead, the majority of us will stay in that zone. Even though you've mastered whatever it is, you will still stay in that zone. Now, some of us will say, okay, so I've mastered this and I'm good with it. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to master this, whatever it may be. And you want to master woodworking, you end up being, you're good with your hand woodworking, and then you say, well, I've mastered that, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to master welding or whatever it may be. And this is, all the different turns, twists in our lives that we create are there to entertain us. Along the way, we learn, we experience. What do you think will happen, or believe will happen, when people begin, because you reach a certain comprehension, awareness, right, with yourself and the God that you are, you have made the commitment to yourself to frequent going within and learning about you and all the things that you've accumulated, emotionalities, whatever, in this life so far, that you made peace with everything. You've dumped the cart out. So you're not carrying anything that you would like, you'd like to get rid of, but you keep. You say, oh, well, I'm not going to do anything with that right now. I'll keep it. I'll stuff it in here. Instead of doing that, you just release. Just let go. Practice letting go, releasing. In other words, when you let go of something, you're not holding it tight to your chest. You're just going, okay, I'm good. And it's like with anything that we put our attention to, we say to ourselves, it'd be great if this were to come in for me. But it would also be great if it didn't. So either way, that's letting go. That's allowing yourself to say, and I'm just not attached to anything, period. You don't have attachments to anything. Don't need them. Attachments are from the ego mind, which creates the insecurity. It's like you live in a town for, as long as you can remember. Little community, pretty much, the store, the hardware, and all that stuff. And you're high on a Sunday afternoon. And then you go and you say, I think I'm going to move to another town or village or whatever, city. And even though I'm going to move there, I don't know anybody. Don't know anybody there. How many of us would do that? Rather than sitting comfortably in a place where we know people, interact, maybe we've been there since kindergarten. But what is this life really for? What is it? I get that question a lot. What is this life for? What are we doing? All of us. What the heck are we doing? Well, we're experiencing every split second. We're in the now. See, in the now allows us to experience every moment, moment to moment. Now, the flip side of that is the ego mind, which is highly insecure, is worrisome, fears, this won't happen, that won't happen, I won't get this won't go. You see what I mean? That's what happens in ego mind. But when you live in the heart mind, none of that happens because you know that whatever it is yours. Whatever it is yours. And you're not going, it just got to come in now, right? Because none of us are exempt from that. We want it now, okay? But then when we're challenged a lot, the universe challenges us, and we say, okay, so I'm just going to let it go because I know it will manifest when it is appropriate. You just let it go. A lot of us will hold on to things, so many things. Have you ever tried to take too much to carry, right? You say you went to the store, you got some stuff, and you're carrying, you say, well, I got to carry it, and you're thinking, well, then I don't have to make any more, that many more trips back to the car to get it. So you kind of overload yourself, and you're going in, and then, boom, you drop some stuff, break it. Then you get irritated, frustrated, kind of miscombobulated. But see, you created that because you decided you were going to take more than you could really carry. And we do that with a lot of things in this life. We get things and we think that, well, here, I'll grab another one, I'll grab another one. And we grab them, and then we find out that, wow, it's just too much. I thought I would need it. I don't need all this. So we get sucked in by the ego mind so much it's unreal. If we were to move slower, okay? Now, let's say you're moving slow. You decide that you're just going to float, move slow with whatever you're doing, could be out and about. But someone's behind you in this one situation. And you could, at first, you're just flowing. You're oblivious to a lot of things. You're just focused on the moment, and you're just kind of floating. But you start to feel this energy, this frequency. and someone's behind you, and you've been taking your time, and you didn't notice that they were there. Just all of a sudden, you look around and you go, oh, you know. And there you could tell they're getting agitated because you are moving too slow. Now, you're not 150 years old. You just, decided to just move slower. And they're on the opposite side of the fence saying, I got to get going. What the heck is this guy or gal doing? What the heck are they doing? What's taking them so long? Instead of just sitting back and allow things to flow, a lot of us will try to hurry and rush and push and get things going, stoke it. Instead of just having the patience to kick them back and just say, hey, I know this will take place. I have no doubt about it whatsoever. And then one will say, well, don't you want it? Don't you have a time element, a limit that you need to have this happen? And you say, no, it's up to the universe. I've already put it out there. And the universe will deliver. It just may not be on our time frame, say. But no matter whatever we focus on, doesn't matter what it is. Could be something not too good, okay? And we focus on where attention goes, energy flows. It's a proven fact. Thousands of times it's been proven that wherever we focus our attention, we create. There's no argument about it whatsoever. There is no argument. It is what it is. And it comes from the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, you have so many of us still entrenched with the ego mind. So we don't, those of us that are in that phase don't pick up on it. Don't identify with it. If it does come in, it's kind of skirted, walked around, ignored, because many people don't care to go there. See, someone says they can't be powerful, and then they start feeling guilty that they sense that they're powerful, that they're an omnipotently powerful, supreme manifesting, abundant being that never dies. A lot of people would say that's crazy. They just say they're little me, they're little me's, and they don't have any power, and they just kind of live life. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not negative. But don't you believe that it is about time that the civilization makes an exponential, major leap, evolutionary-wise? Okay? And that major leap, evolutionary-wise, is first increasing our vibrational frequency because we want to, and understanding and comprehending what that means to us. So I increase my vibrational frequency. Yeah, you're going to stay out of low-level energy. You're going to stay out of it, which is depression and anxiety and worry and fear, attachment, expectation, because we've all done that. Every one of us, every lifetime, none of us are exempt from it. We experience it. We've experienced it thousands and thousands and thousands of times. But now it's like we want to know what it's like, and we want to experience pure bliss, which is what we are. And to experience pure bliss, you have to leave the ego mind alone. You can't. If you interact with the ego mind without having command of it, then you're mastered by the ego mind. I mean, that's how it works. But when you begin to identify the ego mind and you start to say, okay, so I know that the ego is an illusion, and I know the mind's an illusion. And the mind created the ego to assist it. So we kind of like two elements there that are illusions. But we have all been bested by that illusion many times. But now we get to the point where we begin to comprehend and say, okay, so in a generic way, I comprehend the ego mind, what its purpose is. So the only way I'm going to master it is so that I can watch it from the outside. Not judge it, but see what it does, how it thinks, what kind of thoughts does it deliver, why does it have this insecurity all the time? Why is it always feeling insecure and stressed? At certain levels, you could feel insecure or stressed, but not know it. You could be footloose, fancy free, and not know it. But we carry things. It's like we have like this chest, and we open it up and we throw things in it. We carry things around with us. Could be, an emotional encounter in our lifetimes, things that we've interacted with, people we've met, we've talked with. It could be a plethora of things. But yet when we go in and we start to discover all of this with ourselves, this is why we're gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves at all times. This isn't about you eviscerating you. This is about you loving you and all parts of you. Period. What happens when we don't do that? What happens when we don't feel that way? Well, you emit some miserable energies. Affect others. You can be in a relationship, but you don't love yourself, and you don't have an intimate relationship with yourself. So in that relationship, you're going to have issues, and they're not going to go away. See? This is why we have so much misunderstanding and relationship bonding on this planet at this time. So when we become aware, then we decide to shift gears. I know this stuff. I know what the ego mind is. I know what it does. I am mastering the ego mind through the heart mind. So in meditation, I focus on the now. Only the now. It's the only thing I really have is the now. I don't have anything. I don't have yesterday. I don't have tomorrow. I will always have the now. And where's the comfort in that? Well, the comfort is that you have the universe. And the universe never makes any kind of boo-boos at all. And when you realize that the universe is always there, so always communicating with you, never isn't, 24/7, morning, noon, and night, what kind of a feeling do you believe that brings within you? What kind of a feeling? Well, it's comfort, right? Satisfaction. Feeling good about that. I ask people all the time, when was the last time you hugged yourself? They kind of look, what? That's kind of a strange thing, isn't it? Hugging oneself. No, you'd be amazed. You can do it physically, hug yourself, or you could do it through your heart mind. See, we don't, and this is interesting because we have these emotional bodies, and we don't pay a lot of attention to them. You ever notice that? We don't pay a lot of, we don't have an intimate relationship with these bodies. We don't pay much attention to them. But when the body says, hey, over here, please, come on, then we might pay attention. It's like, you take care of the body will take care of you. It's no different than your car. You take care of your car take care of you. You don't take care of your car's not going to take care of you. It's going to break down. It's the same with the body. What about the ego mind? The ego mind is there for us to master. That's exactly why it's there. It's for us to master it. That's it. And along the way, it plays these games. It makes it even more interesting. Someone's out there and they're you're in a group of people and someone's bragging about how they're great at this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and they're always besting, no matter what people say, they're always besting those people. Oh yeah, well I did that. You're in heart mind, that doesn't even register. It really doesn't. It doesn't at all. You're an ego mind. You see, if you're in heart mind, it doesn't register. Ego mind, oh, it registers. Causes you to get irritated, maybe sometimes confrontational, or just frustrated. You believe that guy and what he was saying? I couldn't get a word in edgewise. That's ego mind. See, it is going to come to a point on this planet with this species, this particular civilization, where we're going to choose to be together, unify, once and for all. Or continued a splintered interaction. Well, we know what the splintered interaction has been for us for thousands and thousands of years. So we're shifting to a smooth interaction with each other. And that, see, when you look at the fact that you go within and you address everything within you, you're not judging yourself, you're not ridiculing yourself, but you're finding out these areas that only you know, that you bring out and give them a hug. You let go of things. There's no reason. You just ask yourself, right in this very now moment, is this serving me the greatest good? That's all you got to do. And be totally honest and say, you know what? It isn't. Therefore, I don't need to hold it forever. I got to let it go. Just let it go. When you let it go, I might kind of sneak back in and just say, let it go again. So when we decide for ourselves to go within, and the whole comprehension is to go within and eventually stay within. In the beginning, you're going to go back on ego mind, back and forth, but you have this awareness. Okay, so you know what ego mind is doing. You know what its purpose is. You know what it's seeking. It's seeking peace. But the problem is it doesn't know that the peace is within us. It's within us. It believes that it's out there. That's what the ego mind thinks. It's out there. That peace is out there, not within. And unfortunately, for the ego mind, it never finds peace because it's looking in the wrong area. Now, through the heart mind, you begin to master the ego mind. Slowly but surely, it begins to realize that, hey, wait a minute, I've been looking in the wrong direction. I'm sensing that there may be peace right here, right now. And slowly but surely, you master it. It then takes a back seat, and then it eventually doesn't exist. Because when one masters the ego mind, and that which means also they're mastering their thoughts, there's no irritation. There's none of it. There's no worry, stress, fear, because you know exactly who and what you are. And you're living in the now. You're not projecting tomorrow or yesterday, which is what the ego mind does all the time. You're not projecting. People ask you, this is what's funny, because sometimes people ask, what are you going to do tomorrow? And your response is I have no idea. I'm not in tomorrow. I'm in now. I don't look tomorrow. It's not here. I look to now. And tomorrow will take care of itself. Now, a lot of people look at it and say, well, you're crazy. You got to know what's going on. You got to have plans and stuff for tomorrow. And you say, I'm not in tomorrow. I'm in the now. It's my philosophy. It's how I believe. You know, the civilization has been trained to, you got to plan everything. You got to adjust everything. You got to lay out everything. And majority of the time, it never usually works out the way you have specifically planned it. There's always some glitches or something. And I've talked to so many people that they made plans and they set up things and everything. And I said, what did you learn from it? Well, doing it over and over again, you finally figured out that you just kind of go with things. You do. You just say, okay, so we're going to take a trip. Let's go here. We'll stay at this hotel, do this, do that. Just have a good time, right? And it happens that way, great. If it doesn't, great. We'll just roll with it, float. And what that does is it disposes of the ego mind's interplay. The ego mind doesn't exist in that situation, that scenario. Because after all, we are all here on this planet to do what? Enjoy our lives. Across the board. Enjoy our lives. Help each other. All the money that's going to be transferred to the people of this planet, all the wealth, is for one reason. It's going to be used to help each other and build a new earth. That's what it is. It isn't about, it's funny because it isn't about people becoming wealthy and egotistical and controlling. That's all the old stuff that's melting away on this planet. We aren't going back to that. So if you have a conversation with someone and they start talking about all the stuff they're going to buy and all the things they're going to have, but not once mentioning anything about the sincerity through their heart mind is that I want to help people. Not just superficially. I want to help as many as the parts of me as I can. Because all of us are part of each other. I'm not saying the body, but if you even trace the genome way back, we all originated from one, these bodies originated from one organic source. No matter what your last names are. So the bodies are interlinked and interconnected as well. But as gods, we're literally interfacing with other parts of ourselves, of the collective consciousness, of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. So doesn't it make sense that we choose to follow certain things with ourselves? We choose to master the ego mind. We know how to do that by staying out of it, by not engaging with it, by watching it, learning. We also know that we have identified that we are a God, a pure consciousness within these bodies, within the soul. That we're not weak and tired and non-impactful beings. We're actually the opposite. And once we begin to discover that, the vibrational frequencies within us and all around us start to shift. The God that comes out front and center is the highest vibrational frequency that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. So what we do is that we seek to help others enjoy life. They seek to help others to enjoy life. So on and so forth. When we get to that point as a people on this planet, everything will have changed at a much higher vibrational frequency. When we stop fighting each other, stop arguing with each other, stop trying to defend ourselves through the ego mind, then we become brothers and sisters. We don't argue. It's different. Say brothers and sisters regularly will argue, but in the heart mind, why argue? There's no reason to argue. Why try to defend your ego? There's no reason to defend it. Why worry about what others say or do? There's no reason to. We're enjoying our lives. We're manifesting what we choose to manifest to enjoy with our lives. And we take care of the body so that we can continue to enjoy our lives and help each other. That's what this is all about. You know, you're here to serve. We're all here to serve. We're all here to serve what? Serve ourselves, okay? Get our own dwellings in order, so to speak, within. And then start interacting with everybody else. Disharmony. We know what disharmony creates. We're watching it. Chaos, disharmony, guessing, worrying, stressing, fearing. And we also know that don't care to stay in that. I know what that frequency is. I've been around it for thousands and thousands of years. I don't really care to participate in that. I got it. I know what it is. I am not going to forget about it. Now it's time for me to move into a whole different realm of existence. Fifth dimensional frequency, new earth, God planet paradise, where people genuinely help each other on a daily basis. You imagine how that will play out on this planet? In other words, where you trust yourself and you trust everybody else and you have no reason not to, because they follow through with your trust in them, vice versa. So we have these, they're waiting for us within us, not outside of us. And each one we discover is an absolute Shangri-La. It's a samadhi. It's a kundalini experience. And we open another door and another door and another door. And next thing you know, there's God, of which we are. And then we embrace the God, the pure consciousness. This is how this civilization is going to flourish instead of diminish. How it's going to expand instead of deflate. These are the key elements for this species, this civilization on planet Earth and this now to embrace. Join you in meditation, and I'll return to close the sound. Every thought you think and every feeling you experience is part of the divine plan of this universe. Your existence is essential and needed by all of humanity. You play a very important role in waking up the planet just by being who you are. If you don't believe that, if you don't believe that you are that super sacred, just relax and give it 24 hours. The knowing will come when you realize that the divinity doesn't exclude anyone. It just can't do something like that. It is here now, fully present and alive within everyone, including you. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning. We'll return here Wednesday, January 15, 2025. It's 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. And a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on out there or within you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.